Nikolai, I mean, game 359 this weekend, has it kind of sunk in, big occasion this weekend, breaking the record?
Yeah, I mean, I've I guess had some time to think about it, but look, it's I think I've said this all along that it's nice and it's it's nice to get recognition about individual, I guess, achievements but I guess a time for reflection on career will be after I'm done, and I've still got work to do. I feel like I've still got plenty more to give, and yeah, for me it's performance as an individual first, and then hopefully that turns into points on as a team perspective.
Thinking back to those days of junior Nikolai Topor-Stanley at Belconnen and Manly, and then breaking into the A-League Mets and Sydney FC, do you think that young version of yourself would believe where he's gone to these days?
Oh, look, I'd be lying to say if I was, right? Like, you can't really... Yeah, I mean, as a youngster, you're kind of very self-absorbed and you're kind of focused on the now, and you have all these dreams and aspirations, but you have no idea where you want to go, or where you'll be, sorry. I mean, I've had plenty of doubters along the way too, and I think I was talking to someone yesterday that, I was never tipped for greatness. I was never earmarked for lofty, watch for this guy. I was more kind of the hard worker in the corner, which maybe has served me well in my career.
I mean, going back to game one, I mean, it's all the way back in 2016. I guess what were your thoughts going through that? What's changed then compared to now? It's been a very long journey since then as well.
It'd be kind of hard to put into a few sentences, but look, I mean, at the time I remember like it was yesterday, because it's the career's gone in a blink of an eye, but I remember being all sorts of emotions: nervous, proud, excited, worried, didn't want to let my teammates down. I knew that I was a very raw, young, unpolished player, but I had talent, which I guess gave me the opportunity to make that debut, and I was lucky enough that I was on a good team to win that day.
You mentioned how proving people wrong has been something that's been a part of your career throughout. Is that what's pushed you to put in the hard work on and off the pitch that you always have?
I mean, certainly in the early part of my career, because you take criticism very personally as a youngster. It's only natural, right? Like you want to please everyone, and you don't necessarily respond well to criticism, regardless if it's constructive or not. You just want to, I guess, prove to everyone that that what you are, that you're a good player and you're more than competent. But I think the longer I've gone on, the more I've pushed that to the side, and I've kind of realised what's actually important, and that's, I guess, me just staying focused in whatever job I have to do at the moment.
How does the preparation change as you get older? I mean, you said that now still playing at a very high level, I guess, as time goes on. What's the secret to the longevity, I guess?
Yeah, there's no one recipe that fits all, right? It's very individual, but what's worked for me is, I guess, where do I start? I've had so much support to get me over the line, just to get on the field, right? And I've had a lot of mentors. I've learnt a lot of things not to do as well. From sometimes you learn, and you always learn in failure. I've gone through a lot of heartache, and I guess learnt some of my harshest lessons then. And I guess I've been fortunate enough that even in periods of failure, that people have believed in me to give me another chance. So there's a heap that goes into it, but I guess what underpins it all is hard work, a strong mentality to get through the hard times, and get yourself back on track.
You talk about support throughout your career, and one of the biggest changes is obviously you brought a family into the world, your wife and kids. They'll be with you on the weekends. You make this record-breaking game. How big of a motivator have they been in pushing you to put in as many games into this competition as you have?
I'm not sure if there's been a motivator to make me play more. It's more of it's given me a different perspective on life, that I can, put aside the ups and downs of football to focus on family life, which is, before you have kids, you kind of, as I said before, you're very self-centered. an elite sport can be that way, and it can be around career and a lot of sacrifices are made around that. And now this has given me a different outlet to express myself as a human being first and foremost, and to have to see your kids grow and all the rest of it, the sleepless nights, is all worth it, right? It's the best thing I've ever done.
What makes this team so different from all the others you've played from? First season, obviously, Western United, you've been a part of some very, very good sides throughout your career. What makes this team different to the rest, I guess?
Well, look, I don't want to kind of compare, because it's every year it's different. You have players that come and go. There's styles of football that they're a flavour of the year or whatever you want to call it. But and we haven't achieved anything yet. I mean, we've certainly had a good start to the season, but there's a lot of games to go. There's a lot of points, and in our eyes, if we don't finish as high up the table and come off with silverware, it probably won't be good enough for this team, because we've assembled it with lofty ambitions of winning championships. That's simple as that. Whether that happens or not, we'll see. But the coaching staff have had a clear plan from day one. They've recruited well, and they've made, I guess, their vision of football and how it's supposed to be played clear, simple, and they've created buy-in. So that's all you can ask for. And sometimes, that doesn't work out. And the seasons can be long when you have a group that doesn't fully buy in. And but fortunately, so far, we've maintained that.
Looking ahead to this weekend, obviously, anyone who you ask about Nikolai Topor-Stanley in this league will talk about what a seasoned professional you are, a hard worker. Obviously, it's a big occasion on the weekend for yourself, but it seems like you internally, knowing the kind of player you are, you'll also be pretty solely focused on the 3 points, and the 359th is a nice bonus.
Yeah, exactly right. Like, I think I figured out. Well, no, I've figured out. Once you think you figured it out, you probably haven't. But I guess I know what to prioritise these days in terms of how to approach the game mentally, and what to block out, what to take in, because there's a whole lot of information that can be useful or useless, right? And I can, maybe it's due to maturity or time in the game. I don't know. I'm sure I'll be able to put my finger on it once it's all done and dusted, that this is a turning point, that was a turning point. But yeah, I feel like I've gotten better anyway. I've gotten better at prioritising what's really important, and that is performance. That's getting my head right for the 3 points.
You mentioned silverware. I mean, the A-League Championship has eluded you throughout your career. You won the Champions League, you won premierships before. I mean, how special would it be to finally achieve that this season with Western United?
It would be the ultimate, right? That's what I play for, and I've been close many a time, and it's cruelly evaded me. But that's life, right? And I'm not going to sit here dwelling on the past. And we've got a great opportunity to do that with this group.
Maybe a final one for you, Nikolai. Obviously, 359th game on the weekend, but you're only 37, you're looking very healthy, you're playing games week in, week out. Are you hopeful that you can extend that record further in a green and black shirt?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel good, physically and mentally, probably more importantly, because I've seen it around me that some people lose the spark or the motivation to really sacrifice what it takes to be at the top of your game, and hopefully I get the opportunity to do that beyond this season.